They told you to chase happiness. They told you to find balance. But what they never said, what they never dared to say, is that comfort is a cage, a beautiful one, a soft one, but a cage nonetheless. Look around you. The people who settle into comfort zones rarely leave them, not because they can't, but because they've traded their dreams for a couch, their potential for predictability, their power for permission. And the saddest part, most of them will defend their cage. They'll say you're being unrealistic. They'll tell you to slow down, to be careful, to be grateful for what you have. But you weren't built for a padded life. You weren't born to repeat quiet routines until your soul forgets what it feels like to burn. You know it. You've always known it. That deep hunger that creeps in when the room gets too quiet. That flicker of restlessness when the day ends, and you realize you didn't move the needle, not 1 inch. You weren't meant to be comfortable. You were meant to grow, and growth only happens when comfort dies. Think about fire. It doesn't form in stillness. It needs friction. It needs fuel. So do you. The moment you begin to chase comfort is the moment you start lowering the standard of what your life could be. You begin making peace with mediocrity. You begin tolerating average. And before long, average becomes your identity. That's why the true enemy of success isn't failure. It's comfort. Failure sharpens. Comfort dulls. And if you want proof, look at the greats. Edison failed 10,000 times before lighting the world. Carnegie slept on benches before owning steel empires. Disney was rejected by 302 banks. Do you think any of them were comfortable during the climb? They didn't seek comfort. They sacrificed it. They exiled it. They declared war on it. And so must you. Because comfort doesn't just slow you down. It rewires your brain to fear the very things that make you great. It makes you afraid of early mornings, afraid of silence, afraid of risk, afraid of yourself. And that's the truth. Nobody says out loud, your comfort zone isn't where your life is safe. It's where your dreams go to die quietly. The most dangerous place in the world isn't a battlefield. It's a recliner. It's a routine. It's that 5-minute snooze you press every morning while your goals bleed out. It's the voice that says, you can start tomorrow. That voice is the enemy. And it's inside you. So if you're tired of spinning in circles, if you're sick of small wins that don't fulfill you, if you're done pretending you're okay being comfortable, then burn the damn blanket. Rip the cushions off the couch. Break the silence with one loud decision. No more comfort. No more waiting. No more excuses. This world wasn't built by people who chose easy. It was built by the obsessed, by the sleepless, by the misunderstood, by those who lived like today was the only day left. If you're ready to join them, it starts now, not with a big plan, not with a perfect system, but with one small rebellion against comfort. Because the moment you say no more is the moment life starts saying let's go. The moment you rebel against comfort, the world starts to reveal its resistance. You'll feel it instantly. The whispers will start, don't overdo it. You've changed. Why are you working so hard? Good. Let them talk. Because what they call too much is exactly what transforms the average into legends. Comfort hates pressure, but growth feeds on it. And if you want to build something that lasts, your mind, your body, your destiny, you must learn to apply pressure to yourself before the world does it for you. Discipline is the tool, but belief is the fire. And belief isn't some soft concept. Belief is a weapon. The man who believes in himself will outlast the one who waits for motivation. Motivation is seasonal. Belief is structural. It sits under everything. It decides how you show up, how you speak, how you walk into a room, and most importantly, how you walk out when things fall apart. You can't buy belief. You can't fake it for long. You either build it or you become someone who bends every time the wind shifts. But how do you build it? Through repetition in the dark, through showing up when no one's watching, through waking up when it's inconvenient, through doing the reps that no one celebrates. Belief is earned in private, long before you're applauded in public. And this is the secret. While the world sleeps, the few rise. While others wait for a sign, the few act. And while the masses seek comfort, the few choose war with the old self. Every day, without fail. That's how you become dangerous. Not to others, but to your own excuses. You begin to threaten the part of you that sabotaged you for years, the version of you that hesitated, delayed, negotiated. That version begins to panic as your consistency rises, because it knows it's dying. And you You're finally becoming the version of yourself the child in you used to daydream about. Now is not the time to shrink. Now is not the time to hesitate. Now is not the time to say, I'm not ready. Who told you that readiness was a requirement? It's not. Decision is. Power belongs to those who decide before they're ready. Those who leap before the bridge appears, because they know the bridge is built through motion, not meditation. Burn this into your soul. You do not rise by thinking. You rise by moving. Action is the only prayer the universe responds to. So move, even if your hands shake, even if your voice cracks, even if your body resists and your mind protests. Move anyway. You were not put here to live soft. You were not put here to make peace with fear. You were not put here to decorate a cage. You were put here to break the damn door down. And when it breaks, don't stop. Step through. Raise your standard. And remember, belief is the beginning. Discipline is the engine. Action is the sword. But what forges them all is your ability to live uncomfortable on purpose. Because discomfort is the birthplace of destiny. The problem is never pressure. It's how you respond to it. Steel doesn't fear the flame. It welcomes it. Because only through the fire can it be forged into something unbreakable. And you've been avoiding the heat for too long. You've been sold a lie. That ease is the goal. That happiness comes from escape. But no great soul was ever born in comfort. They were shaped in resistance, sharpened in rejection, refined by failure, and rebuilt with fire in their eyes. You want peace? Earn it in chaos. You want strength? Lift your burdens until they feel like feathers. You want freedom? Discipline is the only currency. And here's the paradox they don't teach in school. Discipline is hard until it's who you are. Then it becomes your edge, your advantage, your weapon in a world full of soft minds and weak wills. The moment you commit, truly commit, your brain changes, your posture changes, the way you speak, the way you see, the way you breathe. It all begins to align with a higher version of yourself, not because the world got easier, but because you got stronger. Look around you. This world is not waiting. It is moving, building, testing, collapsing, and rebirthing constantly. And if you don't move with it, you're not just falling behind, you're becoming irrelevant. Winners don't adapt when forced. They evolve before the storm. They train while it's sunny. So when the rain hits, they're already in motion. That's the mindset. Anticipate. Prepare. Strike early. Strike hard. Strike without hesitation. But none of that works without clarity. You must see it. Crystal clear. What do you want? What are you building? Who are you becoming? Not in theory. Not in half-hearted affirmations, but with vivid intensity. You must become obsessed with your vision. It has to live in your bones. It has to haunt your sleep. It has to invade your idle moments until your actions begin to align with the vision automatically. Without permission, without delay, because vision gives birth to discipline. Discipline gives birth to power, and power gives you options. Options to walk away from anything less than your standard, to speak when it's time, and stay silent when it's smarter, to say no without guilt, and yes without hesitation. But you won't get there unless you raise the floor of your life, not the ceiling, the floor. What you're no longer willing to tolerate. That's the secret of the one dat. They don't set higher goals, they refuse lower habits. Raise your floor, refuse laziness, refuse drama, refuse distraction dressed as urgency. Refuse excuses, apologies, and watered down effort. And as your standards rise, so will your reality. You won't need to chase. You'll attract. You won't beg for change. You'll become the change. Not by shouting louder, but by walking with precision, purpose, and pressure. And if you fall, good. Wipe the blood off your knuckles and rise again. Failure isn't your enemy. Comfort is. Because comfort lies. Comfort flatters. Comfort delays. And in the end, comfort kills more dreams than fear ever could. Now listen closely, because what I'm about to say isn't a motivational quote. It's a warning, a line in the sand. If you don't decide who you are, the world will do it for you, and the world doesn't care about your potential. It only rewards your results. You want freedom? Earn it. You want respect? Command it. You want power? Build it, day by day. Brick by brick. There are no shortcuts. There is only the grind, the repetition, the inner war that no one sees but everyone senses once you've conquered it. Every day you delay. You trade your future for comfort. You say, tomorrow, I'll start. But tomorrow has its own temptations, its own delays. And before you know it, your someday becomes never. So burn the list of excuses. Tear down the fallback plan. Delete the backup dream. Leave no lifeboat, no escape hatch, no maybe. Because the only way to truly commit is to remove the option to quit. Burn the boats. When Hernincourt Tots landed with his men on foreign shores, he gave one order: burn the ships. Why? Because retreat is easy when it's available. But when the only path is forward, you find a way. You build new muscles, new methods, new minds. And that is what your life demands now. A total commitment to the higher version of yourself. Not 90. Not when it's convenient. 100%. When it hurts. When you're tired. When no one is watching. That's when identity is forged. You want to know why the top ones stay there. Because they never stop climbing. They don't plateau. They reinvent. They outwork their former selves every single day. Success is not a door you walk through. It's a battle you win again and again. And most of all, it's not inherited. It's installed, programmed, rewritten line by line into your subconscious. Until greatness is no longer a choice. It's a reflex. But you must stay sharp. Because the enemy doesn't sleep. It whispers. Even in your victories. Relax. You've earned it. Take a break. You've done enough. No, you're not here to plateau. You're here to ascend, to evolve beyond the version of you that used to survive, and build the version that dominates. You do that by showing up every day, even when your feelings argue. You do it by moving when others freeze, by speaking truth when others stay silent, by standing tall, not because you have no fear, but because you've decided fear doesn't deserve the driver's seat. You want to rise, then fall in love with pressure, get addicted to discipline, make sacrifice a habit, make greatness your default setting. And the most important rule of all, never forget where you're headed, because the vision you carry in your mind is the blueprint of the life you are building. Protect it, feed it, fight for it, because the day you stop believing in it is the day your reality starts decaying. So keep the fire alive. Let it rage through your habits, through your words, through your walk, because if you don't stay lit, you'll die dim. And you weren't born to live dim. You were born to shine so bright, your past becomes blind. Your pain becomes your proof, and your presence becomes a standard that others rise to meet. No more waiting, no more hoping. This is the moment. This is the hour. Burn the boats and build the empire.